make sure you hit that subscribe button. Peace, y'all. Jonny Fastlane here. So, Lil Xan pulls a gun out on a troll at a gas station, and Grizzley throws shots at Eminem. Big K.R.I.T holds a slave auction, and Jay-Z invests in a vegan bacon company. Let's talk hip-hop. Yo, this is crazy, right? Alright, so Lil Xan is at the gas station, right? And you know how it is, man, and this shit happens all the time, right? And just like the other day when that nigga ran up on 50 Cent talking about, yo, look at my Instagram, yo, look at my Instagram. It's like, bro, I don't know who the fuck you are. That's why 50 Cent was about to scrap with this nigga, right? And it's crazy because it's more the same thing, right? So Lil Xan don't know who the hell this dude is, right? So the dude pulls up on Lil Xan, right, and starts talking shit to Lil Xan about Tupac, actually, right? Because years ago, and when I say years, I mean like 3 years ago, this was back in the day type shit, Lil Xan was like, yo, Tupac is boring, right? Lil Xan is 22 now, so he said that back when he was like 19, right? And he didn't know nothing about Tupac, and of course, just sonically, the way music sounds now, or the way music sounded back in 2016, versus the way music sounded back in 1996 is, of course, vastly different. That's like 30 years or 20 years later, right? So of course Lil Xan wouldn't know or understand or get the fact that Tupac is something special to hip-hop, right? And then people, you know, would say, then why is he a rapper, or why is he even in the game when he doesn't respect his hip-hop elders? And I get all that, right? But anyway, so a nigga walks up to him basically just talking shit to him about his Tupac comments, right? And Lil Xan ain't here for it, right? So Lil Xan gets upset and he's basically like, yo, get the fuck away from me, like back the fuck up, because the nigga was in Lil Xan's face, right? And then Lil Xan pulls out a gun on him, right? And this is when you know you a bitch, right? And I'm talking about Lil Xan, not the nigga that was talking shit to him. Even though, like, I don't have no personal issues with Lil Xan, but this is how you can tell when you a bitch. When you pull a gun out and niggas still ain't scared, if a nigga pull a gun out and motherfuckers don't back up, or motherfuckers don't be like, alright, you got it, or if you pull a gun out and niggas don't change their tone just a little bit, then you know you a bitch. You pull out a gun and niggas is still like, oh nigga, what the fuck you gonna do with that, nigga? You ain't shit. Calling you a bitch to your face, saying, nigga, you a bitch, nigga, you pussy. Look at Lil Xan pulling the gun out on me. Hey, pull that shit out again, homie. Pull that shit out again, homie. You a bitch. Like, if a nigga call you a bitch and you got a gun in your hand, then you probably a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy, right? But here's my thing, right? And I get the way that Lil Xan was at the gas station was bitch tendencies, okay? I'm not going to say that Lil Xan is a bitch, but he displayed some bitch tendencies, okay? And and mainly because, like, why would you pull a gun out if you don't use it, right? Like, I'm from the old school, right? And I be on my positive shit. I be on my conscious shit. I be on my woke shit. I be trying to, like, really not perpetuate violence, especially in the hip-hop community amongst minorities, because even though Lil Xan looks white, he's Hispanic, you know, so all of that, right? But I must say though, since I'm from that era that if you pull your gun out, you better use it. Like, if a nigga got me so mad, if I happen to have a gun on me, which I wouldn't, but if I was so mad that I had a gun on me and then pulled it out, I'ma use it, right? I'm not gonna, like, kill the nigga, right? But I mean, come on, Lil Xan sat in his car, he goes, look at my car. No, nigga, look at your gun. Like, you have a whole gun, man. You have a whole gun and this nigga ain't shutting up. So obviously you ain't doing nothing to intimidate him. So why the fuck would you have pulled it out and niggas know that you ain't gonna use it, right? Even if you don't, like, shoot him, like, shoot at him, you know, like he was getting in his car, he could have just said, pop, like, real quick and just shot near him or next to him or something like that, just to scare the nigga, to let him know, like, yo, I'm not fucking around, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, there might have been witnesses, and I don't know if the gun was dirty or clean, and the gun could have had a body on it, and yeah, the nigga got a camera, so the last thing Lil Xan wants to do is be seen on camera shooting at somebody. You know, there's all of that, right? But the baby killed somebody in a Walmart and he didn't go to jail. But that was in a different state. That was in North Carolina. Gucci Mane killed somebody back in 2005, you know, who tried to come in his crib. That was also in a different state, though. That was in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Or Georgia, you know, Atlanta, right? Fucking George Zimmerman fucking killed Trayvon Martin and got away with it, right? Stand your ground. But that was in Florida, right? So certain states have certain rules. I'm guessing that Lil Xan was probably in California, but I don't know exactly where he was. It's not clear, right? But certain states have different laws and different rules that if you're defending yourself, then my nigga, you could use your gun and shoot that nigga, man. And that motherfucker was asking to be shot. I mean, he was trolling Lil Xan, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, man, Lil Xan responds. The media is going to try to twist what just happened at a gas station. I was about to be attacked and resorted to having to use self-defense. Fuck all you old head-ass bitches still talking about that Tupac shit. Live your own life and stop picking on a kid. First of all, Lil Xan, you ain't no motherfucking kid, right? You're 22 years old, right? If you get arrested right now for, I don't know, shooting at somebody at a gas station, you would be tried as an adult. Not as a kid. You would go to county jail and you would be maybe in general population or maybe not because you are a celebrity, but either way, you're not a child. You ain't gonna go to juvenile hall. Secondly, yeah, I agree with Lil Xan about stop bringing up that old Tupac shit, right? I agree, man. That was 3 years ago. Get off that nigga's dick, right? Thirdly, he's talking about, hey, the media is going to try to twist it and I had to resort to self-defense. Bitch, you didn't resort to any kind of self-defense. All you did was talk shit to a nigga from 100 feet away and wave a gun at him. If that's self-defense, then my nigga, you got the game all the way fucked up, right? Like, self-defense is, I shot the nigga twice and I got arrested and then I put out the statement. I had to resort to self-defense, you know, or I shot at him. Thank God I didn't hit nobody, but the bullet broke the glass at the gas station or something like that. So now I gotta pay for that shit. Oh, I picked up a new charge, discharging a firearm at a gas station and putting everybody in danger because obviously if I pull this trigger, I'm at risk of blowing up the whole damn gas station. Whatever the case may be, right? That's self-defense, my nigga. You ain't resort to self-defense. You resorted to getting in your car and arguing with a nigga like a bitch. So let me know what y'all think about this in the comments down below. Alright, yo, so, T Grizzley, right, dropped this new song called No Talking, right? I can't play like a clip of the song and nothing like that because these YouTube feds be in the streets talking about copyright, this and that, right? So whatever, right? But just know the song is fire. It's called No Talking, so Google that shit, right? Alright, so T Grizzley dropped that shit, and in the very first verse, right, T Grizzley is like talking his shit, right? So, alright, right, T Grizzley is from Detroit, right? And so is, Big Sean, Dej Loaf, Sada Baby. Sada Baby's from Detroit too, right? And Sada Baby did an interview like a couple weeks ago. They asked him like who his top 5 was, and he was like, he named mad different rappers, but a rapper that he didn't name was Eminem, right? And so people are going crazy like, oh, Sada Baby, how can you be from Detroit and not think that Eminem is like one of the greatest or in the top 5? Well, because he does not. I mean, not everybody has to like Eminem, right? And, I was sitting here thinking, right? And I'm going off on a tangent, but Eminem is sort of like Ludacris to me. Like, both of them are dead nice. Both of them are lyrical. Both of them spit. But sometimes both of them really aren't saying anything like really in their music to like send a message, a conscious message. Yeah, sure, you could rap your ass off and you're cool and you're fire and your verses are kind of fun and funny, but what are you saying to change the world? I like Ludacris, right? And I like some of his songs and he's dope, right? But same thing with Eminem. Some of his songs are good to listen to, but is he really a GOAT, right? No. And so, of course, T Grizzley from Detroit kind of feels the same way, right? So, T Grizzley is rapping in the first verse and he says basically something like, I run the city, I run Detroit. Niggas talking about Eminem. I'll kill him and him. I made an M, then made another M again. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, woo! First of all, okay, T Grizzley, I see you on your lyricism shit, okay? I see you, okay? That's what I do, I see you, right? Secondly, then the motherfucker is like, niggas talk about Eminem. I'll kill him and him. So you saying that you will kill Eminem in a rap battle. I see you, right? And then you said, I made an M, then another M. Now you playing with that nigga's name. That's some ultimate hip-hop shit, my nigga. Like, okay, yo, T Grizzley want to smoke with Eminem, and I'm here for it. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know who might win in a rap battle between T Grizzley and Eminem. Eminem might realize, you know, that he fucking like smoked T Grizzley, but you know, we gonna see, right? Or maybe we won't see, I don't know. The thing is that I don't think that Eminem is gonna respond back to T Grizzley on a whole song or anything like that. But what Eminem probably will do is on his next project, will pick like some random, you know, 4-bar section of the next project to address T Grizzley, right? And then when he does, that's bait. So just like, you know, Eminem did to Machine Gun Kelly when he was like, and I'm talking to you, but you already know who the fuck you are, Kelly. When he, you know, basically compared Machine Gun Kelly to R. Kelly because Machine Gun Kelly said that an underaged, Eminem's daughter, Haley, an underage Haley, was cute, right? So that's why you called him R. Kelly. Now, in that situation, Machine Gun Kelly took the bait and he just kind of went off on Eminem with Rap Devil, right? But so I think that Eminem, that's what he does. He'll throw some bait out there, and if you take it, then, you know, they'll rap battle. But if you don't, Eminem probably won't even address it anymore ever again, right? So let's see if Eminem, or when Eminem puts the bait out there, if T Grizzley will take that shit. You know what I'm saying? But hey, this is cool. Now this right here, this shit right here, this some hip hop shit. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
This one right here, he is a good one. He is a felon, uneducated. He has no parents. He is prime, $100,000. This one right here, already graduated from college. He's getting his master's degree, $6,000. He doesn't have a baby's mama. He's got a job. What do you think? I'll give him away for $600. How about this guy right here? Underrated, underground rapper. He's a lyricist, and he's country. $100.
Can't go any lower than that?
Nope.
So Big K.R.I.T drops the video for K.R.I.T here, and it's fire as hell, right? So the song is dope. I mean, y'all already know, right? It's got that dope ass classic sound, like he's using like a soul sample. It ain't like, it's fire, right? And just watching the video, man, you feel good. You watching it in the beginning, they like sitting on a porch or whatever like that. You see a lot of smoke in the air. You see a lot of black people. You see a lot of dreads. You see a lot of gold. You see like some queens sitting there. No big old asses shaking or nothing like that. Respected queens sitting there. Women with their clothes on. Niggas with their clothes on. Tattoos. Just like black people in the South doing like country ass shit. Just like Big K.R.I.T. It's like a country ass nigga, right? And that is fire, right? This is the first act of the video, right? But then like right in the second act of the video, in the middle, the music just stops. It's like, right? And then you see like 4 or 5 men, including Big K.R.I.T, just standing out in like a big field, right? And the field looks like almost like a plantation or something like that. And then something flashes on the screen that says Plantation Records, right? And this shit gets crazy, right? Because basically he's equating when record labels have like a bidding war for like different rappers or whoever the rapper is or whatever the rapper is to slavery, or like to modern day slavery. So basically he takes it back to like the old school slave auction kind of thing, right? And it's very interesting the way that he breaks that shit down, right? Because the first slave or rapper who's up for auction is like, you know, they're talking and it's like a record label execs and they're white and they're basically on their cell phones and talking to each other, and you know, one is asking the other one about the first dude, and he's like, yeah, this guy right here, he's a felon, he got a few different baby mamas, he's already been arrested, he has no college education, and they're like, this one is gonna go for, you know, $60,000 or whatever the case may be, right? So that one, that rapper or that slave was the most expensive slave because he was also representing the most ignorant things, right? And this is what I'm saying, like Big K.R.I.T got deep with this shit, right? So then he takes it another level, right? And he's like, okay, so this slave right here, you know, already has his bachelor's degree. He's going to school for his master's degree. You know, he's going to grad school, but he has a baby mama, right? So that slave goes for like $10,000, right? And then there's another slave who has no baby mother, who has a degree already, but, you know, is a rapper. And that one goes for like $500 or something, right? And then it gets down to Big K.R.I.T. And Big K.R.I.T is like some underground, you know, country rapper who's pretty educated, who's not mad ignorant and doesn't have all of this bullshit going on. And the slave owner or the slave master who's auctioning off Big K.R.I.T is selling Big K.R.I.T for like $100, right? And then the guy says, can you go any lower? And he goes, fine, you can take him for 90, right? So Big K.R.I.T gets sold for the least amount of money because he's not as ignorant. The white people can't use him, or I would say the record labels can't use him like they can use the first dude. So that's why the first dude is so much more valuable to them, right? And then it's crazy because they sold Big K.R.I.T for $90, which is pretty much nothing, right? But $90 is a very important number, right? Because, you know, back in the slave, you know, times, when they were selling like slaves and everything like that, slaves didn't cost, you know, $60,000 or whatever like that because money was different back then, right? If a nigga had $100, they were basically considered filthy rich back then because you could buy anything with $100. Nigga, $500 to get you a mansion that you don't have to pay outright. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, money was different back in the day, obviously for inflation and all that bullshit, right? But anyway, the average price for an American slave back in slavery times was $90. So it's funny that Big K.R.I.T would say that, okay, you can sell me off for $90. Now, the equivalent to $90 back then was $40,000. So if you had $90 back then for a slave, basically you were paying $40,000 for that slave if you were buying a slave today. You feel me? Type shit. But it was just crazy how Big K.R.I.T stuck to that same number for himself, which was kind of dope, right? But yeah, man, all this shit coming out of one music video. Who would have thought? Anyway, go check it out. Let me know what y'all think. You know, I saw something, I think like TMZ, because, you know, they be on the streets all the time, right? And they saw Barbara, that one woman who is on Shark Tank, right? And, you know, Shark Tank is a bunch of billionaires. It's probably maybe like 9 or 10 of them, right? But they rotate. So, you know, Mr. Wonderful is like always pretty much the one who's like always there. Then you have the dude that's the owner of that one football team. You know, you just got mad different people, right? Damon, who owns like Fubu or whatever like that. There's the other nigga that's from GoPro, you know. So now, you know, TMZ caught up with Barbara, who's one of the billionaires, and they was asking her about Jay-Z because now Jay-Z's a billionaire too. And she says, hell yeah, we would love to have Jay-Z on the show. Of course they would. You know what that would do for their ratings? I mean, like, come on, right? So that's dope if Jay-Z was to ever be on Shark Tank. But Jay-Z don't gotta be on Shark Tank to make investments into like businesses and further his wealth, right? And so that's what he's doing, right? So this was a while ago. Jay-Z invested in a company called Partake Foods, right? And Partake Foods, I mean, y'all already know, right, that Jay-Z and Beyonce are vegan, right? I don't know how vegan they are in the sense that they always eat vegan, especially since they travel around a lot and they always on tour and they be in different countries and shit like that. Like, I don't know how accessible vegan food is for them in different places that they travel, but obviously if you're a billionaire, I'm sure that you could find some vegan place in some country or whatever, or city or whatever, whatever like that, that will give you some damn vegan food, right? So Jay-Z and Beyonce are vegan, and so of course what they do is they invest in something that they believe in, or Jay-Z invested in something that he believes in, right? So Jay-Z invested in this Partake Foods, which is a vegan baking company, right? And they are black owned, right? Which is crazy. And they are basically, the way that they even started generating money in the first place was through crowdfunding, right? So they ended up getting a lot of money together through that, like Kickstarter and stuff like that, and they ended up being able to launch their shit. Jay-Z, got wind of them and then invested in them too, right? Jay-Z invested $1 million into them, which is not even that much money for him at all, right? But now with this $1 million, of course, they'll be able to, fulfill more orders, get their stuff in different bakeries and different stores, and maybe even sell it like in a Target or a Walmart or your local grocery store or whatever like that. So these motherfuckers finna get some money, right? Just think about it like this. Chipotle, that everybody loves, was on Shark Tank one day and nobody invested in them, right? So this vegan bakery company who, nobody really knows them yet, Partake Foods, a couple years from now, maybe like 5 years from now, will be a huge company, right? And if Jay-Z keeps his stake in it, that's just more money that Jay-Z's gonna make, right? Let me know what y'all think about all this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and follow me at Jonny Fastlane. That's Jonny Fastlane on Instagram and Twitter. And y'all already know what to do. Peace.